Hello and welcome to my channel, Iceland Outsider. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I am just going to be making an audio recording, and while I'm making this audio recording, I'm going to be trying to find the specific emails that I am about to show you and read them out loud and explain a little bit about them. So, if you can bear with me, that would be great. Okay, so these are just a few of the emails that I have. I'm not going to release all of them at once, but I'm doing this to give you a general idea of what I've been dealing with. You could maybe say this is just the tip of the iceberg that the Titanic scraped. I'm not sure. But okay, here goes. So this first email is an email that I received on June 11th, 2013, while I was pregnant with my second child that I have with my husband here in Iceland. And this email was sent to me by the Child Protective Services worker that I was dealing with in Mosfellsbad at the time, who was supposed to be trying to, help me integrate into being in Iceland and, just help me get everything situated so that we could live. And this is what this email says. It says, "Hi, Cassie. Next time you meet up with," I'm not going to use names, I'm just going to say blank. "Next time you meet up with blank, you will have to take your insurance papers we filled out to Sjova. I will inform blank also about this. You have to pay for the insurance when you go there. It is 13,000 kroner. Ask the staff there if they can send confirmation to the Directorate of Immigration. Hope blank is better." Now, this was the help that they were willing to provide for me while I was in a high-risk pregnancy in Iceland as a disabled person with no insurance or money. Yeah, this was the extent of the help here. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next email that I have here from the same person in Mosfellsbad, the Child Protective Services worker. Now, before I read this email to you, I would like to let you know that the whole time that I lived here as a married woman, I was pushed multiple times by social and child protective services to divorce my husband. And here in this email, they are basically stating that I can't even apply for help until I can prove that I have filed for a separation from my husband. Here it says, "Hi, Cassie. On the meeting with Mother, you need to get a confirmation from them on paper that you have filed for a divorce. Take that paper with you and come to the office to apply for a financial assistance for July, August, and September. Also apply on that same paper for a rental insurance assistance. Easiest solution would be that you and your husband both signed the papers on Friday, but we will see. I am at the office all Friday if you have any questions." Okay, so here is the email proving that I was not allowed to apply for financial assistance. By the way, this is dated the 25th of June 2014. And I had to bring this confirmation paper so that I was allowed to actually apply for assistance. Okay, now I am moving on to the next email, which is dated June 11th, 2014. This email was the only actual help that I received in trying to find an apartment, and I would like to remind you that I am American and I speak English. I have lived in Iceland for some time now, but I still have very little understanding of the language. I cannot speak it fluently. I do not understand it very well. Like, I just understand maybe what's the word for this? I understand basic things like hi, bye, do you understand? Just little basic things. Okay, so she had sent this to me in Icelandic, so I had to translate it myself. But it says, hi, check out this link on mixed rental apartments in the capital. And then she sends me a link for a site called Blond. And that was it. I had called her many times and told her that I was having trouble on the site. And she just told me to find someone else to help me after she told me to leave my husband, and I was alone. Okay. So, moving on to the next email. This is an email after I had finally found an apartment and moved to a city called Kaunas, where the weather was so horrible that I could hardly leave my house. And once again, I'm going to remind you that I am disabled and I had no vehicle. I have no family that lives here to help me. Yeah, it was just a really impossible situation. And so my landlord that I had there, who actually threatened my life in front of my children, he had basically openly admitted to me that he had been making false accusations against me to the Child Protective Services Agency, because after living there for almost a year and being tired of him not fixing anything that was wrong with the apartment, I stopped paying my rent. And so Child Protective Services became a part of my life, and I was harassed a lot. So this is from Child Protective Services in Reykjavik, because they take care of Kaunas. And this is what it says. Hello. This is from me to them, sorry. This is my response to them about a contract that they tried to make me sign. This is dated on January the 12th, and I dated the letter on January the 6th, 2015. And it says this: to whom it may concern. Hello, I am writing a response to the contract that you made up for me. First of all, I would like to address the fact that I have not had the opportunity to learn Icelandic language here yet. I cannot read it or understand it when it is spoken to me. This contract was presented to me in all Icelandic language, and I don't feel comfortable signing any contract that is not in a language that I can understand, even if it is translated verbally to me. I would also like to address the fact that I had someone anonymously call in a report about me. I have willingly let you into my home on 3 separate occasions to see my children and make sure that everything was okay. They are happy, healthy, thriving children. As I understood things, this contract was supposed to be made to address the needs of me and my children. I am very offended that you misrepresented my husband in it because I understand him and the person you are painting in this contract is not him. The things that you put about him and his life are completely irrelevant to anything that has to do with the contract. I do not understand the purpose of him being mentioned like this at all. I would also like to take the time to let you know that he has lost everything in his life over these things you are saying. He is left with nothing, and you continue to try to tear him down even more. Also, the second time that you visited us, you asked me many questions about my past. I honestly answered all of your questions. Then you decided to include those things in the contract, which also is completely irrelevant to anything that has to do with helping me. Okay, I am not sure where I continued on, so I'm just going to keep reading. My upbringing as a child has nothing to do with a contract to receive help from you. I told you that in confidence that you would not try to use it against me. That is part of my past and completely irrelevant with my future or my present situation. I have dealt with all of those things over the years, with many. And then it continues on. I just have to find my place. Sorry, bear with me and give me a second here. I have dealt with all of those things over the past years with many professionals. This completely offended me. It does not belong in a contract about you helping me with issues that I need help with. I don't like the solutions that you have came up with in this contract. I do not agree with them, and I do not even believe anything in there to be a solution to any of the problems I have explained to you about what I am dealing with. No, I will not sign anything agreeing for you to talk to my doctors and the school about my daughter and I. There is nothing happening to her that makes you need to do that. I will not sign something saying that I will take her to daycare every day because if I choose not to take her, that is my decision, not yours. She is my child. No, you do not need to speak to my doctor about things that are going on with me. That information is confidential for a reason. No, I'm not okay with someone coming into my home to evaluate the way I care for my children. When my social needs as a fully disabled person are not being met by the parties involved, I have been disabled fully, and the United States government has recognized it and helped me for over 10 years now. However, if you have any questions about the way I conduct myself as a parent, I did live in a shelter here in Iceland located in Reykjavik City for 6 months of our lives. They observed every single day and night the way that I parent my children. I am willing to sign a paper for you to ask them any questions you may have so that they can clarify for you that I take perfectly good care of my children. I do not trust you after seeing the manipulative way that you have written out this contract in a language that I cannot understand. I do not wish to have any help from you if this is your idea of help. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to write back. I included my address. And I said, thank you for your time and sorry that we could not come up with a solution that we could both agree upon. Sincerely, Cassie Marie Nicholas. Now I am moving on to an email that I wrote to the same person in Reykjavik, the Child Protective Services worker. And this one was dated March the 3rd because this was after my life was threatened in front of my children. And I was trying to get some assistance in filing a report against this landlord that did this to my family. And no one ever filed a report about it, and no one ever helped me with that, which is very odd. And I'm still having trouble understanding this. But okay, I'm going to read this for you. This is March 3rd. And it says, "Hello, blank. This is Cassie Nicholas. I am writing to you in this email because I had called you last week and we made arrangements for you to come to me. You didn't come, and so I called the woman working at the desk there. And they rescheduled for you to come on Friday, but you still never came or called. I called on Friday afternoon, but they said you were busy and would call me back. But you never did. I'm not sure if something came up as an emergency or what happened. Please let me know as soon as you can. Thank you." And then I received this response from her on the same day. "Hello, Cassie. I'm really sorry that I have not been in touch. Our computer system went off on Friday, so I did not find your phone number before me and blank was coming to you. So I could not let you know that we were not coming to you that day. Me and blank can both come to you March 9th about 10 o'clock. Is that time all right for you?" Okay, so I would just like to state that this went on multiple times, and the report was never made. But whenever the landlord was calling and having my neighbors and stuff call and make these reports against me that were false, they would show up at my house very quickly, and there were no hang-ups because of computer errors. It was just really kind of strange. Okay, so I'm moving on to this next email. Just bear with me. I'm trying to find it here on my phone so that I can read it to you while you're looking at it. Sorry. Okay, this email is an email that I received the morning of the day the children were illegally taken from my home. Now, I would like to say again that the Child Protective Services worker that you saw in the video that broke into my home, I am not from Iceland. I do not understand how things work here. She told me after I had spoken with her and another social worker about reoccurring urinary tract infections that me and my daughter were getting together at the same time, I believe it was because we were swimming every day. Like, we were going every single day. We weren't skipping any days. We were going every day to the pool for over a month. And we were both getting these urinary tract infections or bladder infections. I'm not sure what you call them here in Iceland. We call them urinary tract infections in America. Okay, so I spoke with them because I was concerned, and I trusted them. I told them I was concerned because we were both getting these reoccurring infections, and they weren't paying me like they were supposed to be. So I didn't have the money that I needed in order for me and my daughter to go to the doctor and receive medical attention like we needed to, because they were refusing to help us like they should have been, which is why I reported them to the disability rights person here in Iceland. So, yeah. So she told me that I had to take my daughter to like a child house. And she also told me they were going to be examining her and that I wasn't allowed to be present for that, which put a red flag up for me. And I was not okay with that. So when you hear me in my video talking about how there's a doctor's appointment for my daughter at 4 o'clock, it's because I was going to take her to the doctor myself, because I'm not okay with another doctor looking at my child's privates if I'm not present. That's like basically they're molesting your kid themselves. And I'm not okay with that. She was not clear with me about how this works until they were taking my kids, and then she said, no, it's a counselor. She did not make that clear with me before that. So she sends me this email in the morning on June the 29th, and it says, hi, Cassie. Remember that Liliana is to come to the children's house today at 1300. The address is Gilsaur Sticker 8. It is near Mjord, so it is easy to take the bus there. Here is a map to direct you from Mjorden to Gilsaur Sticker. And then there's a link. Okay, so I would like to state that in my video where you saw her standing in my home, and then I'm not sure if she said it in that video, but I know in the phone conversation video that I released, you could hear her lying and saying that she came to my home 30 minutes before this forced scheduled appointment where she made me think that my daughter was going to be having her privates looked at without me present because of a reoccurring urinary tract infection that we were both getting. She lies and says that she was coming to go to the appointment with me. First of all, she never called me. She came to my home unannounced. There were no reports made allowing her to do that. I never signed any contracts with her. She had no jurisdiction of coming to my home like she did. She lied and said she had a taxi. She was driving one of the unmarked cars that the Child Protection Service agencies drive. I saw the car. I refused to answer the door because I had a doctor's appointment for my daughter at 4 o'clock that day, and she was harassing me 30 minutes before it was even time for the appointment that you can see here in the email that she told me to take a bus to. I'm sorry, Erla, but you lied. Okay. This is not the only lie, by the way. Moving on. This email is dated for... Hold on, I have to find it. I'm sorry. Bear with me. Yeah. This email is dated for July the 8th, the day before they allowed me to have a family meeting, which did absolutely nothing for my children. So this was dated July the 8th, and this was an email of me writing my old attorney. I have a new attorney now, but this was the other attorney. And it says, blank, I have just one question for you. If I sign something like that contract, doesn't that mean that I agree with them and that they did this for a valid reason? Will it make my argument invalid about the fact that they actually kidnapped my children? And then comes from the attorney, no, Definitely not. We still have a case. I also write in the objections sent to Barnavand that you are preparing a court case because of what happened on the 29th. You are not losing any right if you sign a contract regarding the children tomorrow. This is bogus. If I sign a contract, it means I agree with these monsters, and I don't agree with anything that went on. This is all completely illegal. So regardless, I never signed a contract. I'm a little smarter than that. Okay. And here is the last email that I want to show to you for today. And this email is from a woman in the office of the attorney that I used to have. She was taking his place while he was on a summer vacation. I had emailed her, and no, I'm sorry, I didn't email her. I called her on the telephone, and I asked her for the name of the child rights advocate who spoke in the meeting, the family meeting, and said that regular visitation shall be maintained so that the parental bond is not broken between my children and me and my husband. Now, she emailed me back, and this was her response. Hi, Cassie. I can't find the name of the woman you were talking about earlier in the phone. If in the paper I have here about the meeting, I only see the names of, two of the Child Protective Services workers from Mossville's. I am going to ask blank when he comes back next week, and I will let you know. I already sent an email to blank and told her that we want more and longer visits with the kids, but she has not answered me yet. I will let you know when she does. This is what she sent to me this morning about the visits, just so you have it with you. And then there's the visits. And can you ask your husband if he is going to sign that power of attorney that I gave him on the meeting? It would be great to get that as soon as possible. Now, I would like to state that the head of Child Protective Services in Mossville's, she's also the head of social services. She takes care of money for people, and she also takes care of removing children from their home. Now, she never, hardly ever answered either one of my attorneys, the old one or the new one. She just does whatever she wants because she feels above the law, I suppose. And also, now that I have this new attorney, she's really wonderful. She showed me the paper, and she translated it for me personally, because it has been almost 2 months now since my children have been removed. No, actually, it's been a little over a month. I'm sorry. It's been a little over a month now. And I still haven't received one document translated into English from Child Protective Services at all. Everything that I have is in Icelandic, and even if I try to translate it myself, it doesn't make any sense. So my attorney translates this document for me, and she shows me that the woman who made the child advocate, the woman who questioned my children, she was in fact a woman from my attorney's office, the old attorney. So this woman who was working for my attorney, she lied to me in an email about who did that. And I also found out from my attorney that they put all sorts of really bogus things in there. But I'm going to talk about that in another video at another time. So, here are just a few of the emails that I have that I wanted to share with you. If you haven't subscribed yet and you would like to follow the things that are happening in my life, because I'm going to start releasing lots of things day by day, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. And if you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments, or you can email me at icelandoutsider@gmail.com. I also have a Facebook page. I had to change it a little bit. I think it's called Cassie Marie Iceland Outsider. I'm not sure. Just try looking up Iceland Outsider and see if it comes up. It should. You can also message me on there. And to everyone who has been so supportive to me throughout all of this, I want to once again thank you. And oh yeah, I know that this is irrelevant to the emails, but I also want to include the fact, because I forgot to talk about this before. I did a second radio interview with my friend Axel, and that's on Frelsey TV, and I'm going to actually put the link for that down below. I would like for you to check that out if you have some time. It's in English. And don't forget to show him some love and subscribe to his page. He's talking about some really important things that you probably would like to educate yourself about. So thank you for the prayers. They're helping us. They're helping my family. Please continue those. That's the best way that you can support us right now. God bless you all and have a wonderful day.